Welcome back to the 2015 Summer Promotion Tournament. We are about to head back onto the Rift for Game 4 between Winterfox and TDK. TDK are just now one victory screen away from claiming a spot in the LCS.
And a lot of that's off the back of Louis GG, who stepped up this tournament. Like, where was this guy all of Challenger? You know what? It doesn't matter, because this is where it matters. He's 10-3-14 and 8 KDA in 3 games against Altec. That's one loss thrown in there, too. He's had a dominant performance, and even though he was down 113 CS at the end of the game against Altec, you can see there on your screen.
Very emotional.
You could tell he's one game away from being relegated. It is definitely something that is taxing on his mind. He had the CS to carry that game, but not the champion against the composition that TDK was running. It's a very stressful situation. You try to do everything you can, and it still doesn't work. It's like fighting a brick wall.
Yeah.
And then somebody else who's doing very well on TDK's side is Alex Heach. Now, this guy came out playing the Ziggs. He's adjusted very well, but the fact that he's able to have the wave clear that puts Winterfox in that kind of situation is really, really, really good for TDK.
Yep.
It spells disaster for Winterfox. And the analyst desk was talking about it, where champion select means so much in these games on who gets what, who gets the Sivir.
Yeah.
Everybody thought Red Side was going to be good coming into this. They have to rethink all that, and that's a lot of stress in the moment. You come in prepared, and you become extremely nervous as the set goes on, and you realize what you prepared isn't working. It's like showing up to class with the wrong textbook.
That's when you have to reset. That's what you saw Altec doing. You were just mentioning he wasn't getting the carries. Well, we saw Polebelter on Kassadin last game. How much actual focus did he get to be a carry for the team? Not much. Him and Alex just went at it mid lane one-on-one. There might have been a few ganks towards the mid, but if you're going to get Kassadin, you're going to want to get this guy going. I mean, Polebelters, he's been here 3 times. He's also carried his team numerous times in this situation. This guy could do it for you. If you're going to give him the champion, facilitate that champion.
He's got his game face on. He just needs a little help.
Yeah, the whole team does.
To get through this and take it to a Game 5 so his team can come back. He's been up against the wall multiple times. He's felt this pressure before, over and over again. King of Relegation coming in. Undefeated so far in relegation in terms of series, but I don't know if he's going to walk away with another win today.
We'll see if they push his pick, so to say. If they give it more aggression, if they give it more ganks, if maybe we get a roam to the mid from Glebe to push the pick that Polebelter has to get a carry going. If not that, we're obviously looking at Altec, because TDK is looking at the same 2 players. TDK now with a lot of momentum. They are on match point. A point where Seraph would love to create a new name for himself going into the LCS. These guys also want it very much here as we start game number 4, pick and bans.
Seraph left the LCS on basically the worst possible foot for him. And he wants to come back and just cross out his old name and reinscribe it on a different team. And
spell it with an I instead of an A.
With a different style, too. He's able to play his style, and his team has faith in what he's going to play and how he can carry. And that's really the environment that he wants to flourish in. And that I've seen him backstage. He seems extremely happy with where he is right now.
That provides a lot of confidence in your gameplay, approaching the game in good mentality already. See what happens when players need to take some time. Try and come out big here.
Same bans, but they take the Sivir ban this time.
It's finally gone.
Instead of Jinx. So TDK give up the Ziggs, the big wave clear mid lane that everybody's been going after, and they get themselves a Sejuani, even though Kez was prioritizing Gragas previously. And they couple it with an Alistar that Smoothie was having a great time starting fights off with. So this is so far, once again, TDK, hard engage, start the fights. No Sivir to help their tanks get in there. But both these guys have an easy job of getting into the fight anyway. They're both going to buy Righteous Glory. They both have gap closers. They both have ways to start it. And that's what TDK is looking for. And Winterfox now need to answer with either hard disengage or engage of their own.
I do like the simple fact of picking up that Sejuani, right? You kind of have Winterfox on not a loss streak, but 1 loss. They're mentally wounded right now, and you're now going to make their jungler, who's already been having trouble, start on a different champion than the series he's been playing. I feel like the transition kind of to Gragas to Sej, a little bit easier. They both have their difficulties in hitting skill shots or ults, but I feel like Sej is going to be able to get some more for sure's in. We saw the flash body slams not really working out for Kez, so he forgoes the Gragas pick this time. A lot of safety in this pickup coming here, and a lot of AP already from Winterfox. Ooh, a Kog'Maw lock-in if the Graves as well. That's Alex's in the mid lane. We've been seeing this from quite a few regions. Also, Bjergsen bringing it out in the finals.
Yeah, Luden's Echo on AP Kog'Maw is brutal. You need hard engage to reach that champion. When he hits level 16 and has the maximum range on his Bioarcane Barrage, his Bioarcane Barrage, nope, that's not right. It's Living Artillery. His Living Artillery.
W is Bio.
Yes, his Living Artillery. You're able to just siege a team down, constantly get stacks on your Ludens, and these guys, right now, you can reach a Ziggs before he can reach you with that ultimate.
And there's that Jinx that they may be going for.
Oh my god.
Louis sees that it's left up.Louis looks for the pick.
If they take both hyper carries in the meta away, there we go. Okay.
It.
I was like, if they take both hyper carries, this is most likely a Lulu top, and it's gonna put Altec onto something that wouldn't make a huge use of that Lulu unless he goes for the Vayne.
Unless right there, a protect composition is something that they could use. You see the consideration being put into this.
Yeah.
Will it be a Jinx? The team decides that will be better, as well as Altec and a Cho'Gath for the last pickup. That's going to be going, I believe, towards the top lane. That's a support Lulu now.
That's a good pickup there because they left the Jinx open and TDK didn't take it for themselves. I thought they were going to steal both hyper carries away and basically render the Lulu not as useful as it could have been. So giving the Jinx over is something that TDK, they're going to have to be very conscious of when they get low and give up these kills. So now, Winterfox, they have a lot of wave clear. They have a lot of kind of poke and zone control. TDK is going to have a hard time starting these fights. You have to run through Cho'Gath Rupture.
Right.
You have to get through Lulu. You have to get through Chompers. You have to get through Disengage, Minefields. It's
Glitter
hard.
Lance.
It's hard to reach Winterfox. TDK, they do have a lot of ways to do so, but TDK are going to have to play around the poke of the newest member of the team, Alex Each. If you engage before Alex is ready with his poke and he's poked them down and softened them up, then you're going to lose that fight.
Yeah. Really giving a kind of for sure way that something can go wrong. The Nidalee pickup.
Speaking of something that can go wrong.
There's a bit of a smile from Alex Each there. They say, let's put Nidalee versus Cho'Gath. Or, since that lane might be swapped, it'll be a lot easier for Seraph to be in a 2v1 lane.
Seraph, he loves this top lane Nidalee. He was playing it before he was on CLG, and it was what he was known for.
Yeah.
It fell out of favor, though. And here's the thing, is he doesn't really play it top lane bruiser style or AP. He goes Infinity Edge after his Trinity Force. He's all AD, turret pushing, shove that wave down, static shiv Nidalee. There may be some adjustments he makes for this series, but that's his typical build in
solo with the
queue.
Kog'Maw as well. I'm not going to put anything by him, though.
He's got the magic damage already from the Kog'Maw. If he becomes an AD
That's
threat,
true. That's a good point.
Thing is he's going to try to split push all game, is what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to split push, try to poke, try to get auto attacks down in crits, and make sure that he can get to turrets. He won a game versus Fusion solely off of backdooring. It was a comeback win with the Nidalee.
Could be a possible final shake here for the coaches as they go back and watch their teams now. TDK looking for a final game point on this one as it's about to go live. Tweet either hashtag WFX win or hashtag TDK win to @LOL Esports, and we'll be checking in to see how you're calling this series and if you're calling it correctly. Seeing those pushes, as we were saying, Seraph controlling the top lane and whatnot, being so aggressive. It seems like it's something that TDK can switch. You were saying wave control is good. Seraph's good at that. They were controlling waves to go for 5v5 fights before in group. Now we're going to see how that split push game wave control goes.
Yep, and the wave clear is in favor of Winterfox slightly. TDK has wave clear with 2 members.
Right.
So it's a little bit even, but Winterfox does have an edge there overall. But when it comes down to split push, turret pressure, the wave clear of Nidalee, he can just walk up and swipe it unless Cho'Gath gets to the point where he's able to just nom him up in just full combo, completely, utterly destroy. Because Seraph's not going to build any HP in his typical build. And another thing, too, is what better way to make it into the LCS than off the back of your favorite champion in your favorite unorthodox style?
There you go. No risk.
Yeah.
As Seraph himself said, there's no risk here. Let's go in and go for broke. It seems like what they're doing. Now again, on the red side is TDK. This is what the teams chose, but the victories have come from blue, oddly enough, each time.
And TDK are 1 game away from being in a North American LCS. And this is a team that was formed around Seraph. The general manager was saying that, and he was also the coach that you saw there on stage,
right,
that he wanted a team in the LCS, and he's been looking for a while. He was actually the manager of Team Green Forest, which is a challenger team based off of Cafe in North America in Northern California.
Right.
I've cast them multiple times in tournaments, aging years back at this point. He's constantly trying to get a team in and help his players out. So he scouts talent, and he found Seraph, and he's like, we're going to build a team around this guy. Let's get Kez in there. Let's get Kyle. Let's get Louis. Let's get a Korean-speaking team here. Yep. And so far, it's been absolutely amazing for them. And this is the closest he's ever been to having a team in the LCS.
Well, it's pretty crazy to see how quickly teams can come together these days with so many different, diverse lifestyles that people have. Being able to buckle down and get this much practice in to be able to contest against LCS teams is no small feat that you're able to do. Let's see if TDK can keep it strong here. We are going to get matched up once again to the lanes. Winterfox teleported back from actually being in the bottom lane this game to get this.
And I want to point this out too, is in game 1 and 2, it was lane swaps. There were lane swaps that were happening, and Louis GG was able to return to lane with a BF sword, unharassed, and in completely good shape. Game 3, lane swapped on, Altec crushes him in lane, can't even back for a BF sword, has to get pickaxe early, and then 118 CS lead. And a lot of that manifested in the laning phase. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, down 30, 40 CS for Louis GG. Altec is able to crush players in the lane, and now they're in a 2-on-2 matchup. They're saying we can sacrifice Seraph top in favor of Altec getting a large advantage on this Jinx and then scaling up and being a late game hyper carry. So this is a little bit of a nightmare for TDK because of the farm that's going into Altec, and Louis GG is not catching. He's 12 CS down already. This is a huge denial.
Very, very big, and he's only going to take pressure from Glitterlands here as we get to the turret as well. Good pressure there, a few shots, and Smoothie can't get away from the damage either. And the more they stand together, the more they're just
he's missing
AoE.
CS under the turret too. Ooh.
It's tough. That second you change your mind about one, you miss at least 2 or 3 because you can't get back on that timer. Pressured once again, misses that one on the buckshot, not able to pick it up. Unfortunate amount of damage you're able to bring to the table when you're pushed in this early. You just need that one extra hit from the support, and Smoothie is doing the best he can, but still taking damage. You can see him trying to get those hits in.
He's got to take harass for it, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Down 10 CS at 4 minutes. But up top, you see Seraph, he's actually making that lead up. I guess it's down bottom, but he's making that lead up by having full AD and harassing Avalon. He's up 13 CS here. So that lead that Altec has is actually a wash.
Avalon farming it out slow. He does have his Vorpal Spikes leveled up, but obviously not using them just yet, so he doesn't get too much of a push on the lane. Here he can, making sure not too much are lost to the turret, and he keeps it at a pretty good pace just off that range. Back to the mid lane here, Alex Ish, 29-31. Not too much of a discrepancy there just yet, but again, now that we have matched up lanes, maybe we'll finally see a bit of pressure there for Pole Belter.
Yeah, the kill potential from Ziggs on a Kog'Maw, it's there.
Right.
It's not huge, but it's there. Kog'Maw wants to scale and wait until 16, level 16, to actually be a huge, huge part of this game. But then when he does turn online and have the Luden's Echo, he's an absolute monster. But they want to stop him from doing that. Helios is putting some extra attention at mid lane. You talked about devoting resources to
There's a little bit.
Pole Belter. They're going to need a lot.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot. It's good to see they're already starting early here, but seeing that now, a very aggressive move from Helios is going to cost him his flash. He still has a bit of Void Ooze locked on, so it was almost dangerous for him. And still in this top lane, Louis GG not having fun. Good pressure from Altec and Glebe to keep that lead in their favor. They have blown exhaust. Louis just blew flash in that engage.
Yeah, despite as well as Altec is doing in this matchup, up 14 CS. Seraph's up even more. Seraph's up 22 CS over his lane opponent right now with his AD Nidalee. His bread and butter, what he's known for.
Yeah.
And now Kez is going to make a visit top lane, possibly blow some flashes in return. It's not warded. just yet. They have no idea that Kez is coming to this lane. There's the flash.
Not much pre-aggression from TDK allows that to happen. Nicely done there by Smoothie, but they're just not able to connect. Seems like Winterfox was saying, you know, it's a little too quiet up here, and they peeled off just in time.
That's the flash and the heal from Altec, so they get both of his summoner spells. Louis still has his heal. So once again, the pressure is now going to allow him to CS a bit. 10 CS difference now between the bottom lane AD carries. Seraph is not nice on this Nidalee. He maxes E first to continuously trade and auto-attack harass you and get that extra attack speed. It's very oppressive. And you would think, oh, he has really good AP ratios. Why doesn't he just go AP?
Yeah.
Because even the Q turns into...
Jeez. He just plays it like a Riven. Anytime he can go in, he goes in. Yeah, be careful, though.
Better watch out. That's a little aggressive.
Still got that surge. He can give himself a heal. This
Silence.
is tough. Gets the fight out. Oh!
Avalon.
Seraph goes down. Definitely getting taken off guard by Avalon.
Solo killed Seraph in lane. That level 6. Nidalee level 6 power spike is pretty much non-existent. You level up your Cougar form one more time. Cho'Gath, it's much bigger. It's a much bigger spike with that feast. And I said, he's just going to om-nom-nom-nom him after a combo. It's really difficult since he's not going to build any HP aside from the Trinity Force and the Phage. That Seraph, it's hard to harass the Cho'Gath down, in all honesty.
Yeah.
He's got that sustain from killing creeps. Seraph's been doing a good job of preventing it from killing creeps, but you have to be on your absolute A+ game to deal with it.
It's kind of that lack of giving someone credit for a quick second. Like, I'm really taking it to this guy in lane. I'm probably going to get one more engage in.
Not a mana,
and then you don't think of the results of the situation, and you get in your own head.
Yeah.
Seraph definitely made a bit of a mistake there trying to go in, but still can do very, very useful things. Up in CS, still going to be able to control the lane quite well, and they actually go to swap him out there. He does not like the pressure he got off of Avalon, and he doesn't want to feed him any more noms, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's better for them because they'll be able to zone out a Cho'Gath a lot easier than they'll be able to zone out a Nidalee. Nidalee will still be able to scrounge up some CS for herself.
Absolutely.
It's a little harder to dive her as well. He still has his flash. He still has heals. Cho'Gath, he'll rupture and he'll silence, but she can escape. She's got move blocks.
And this move works out really good for TDK as well. We see the jungle pressure towards the top side, and that is going to mean Dragon. Number 1, 8.5 minutes in. This is quickly picked up by Kez, so TDK keeps their aggression towards this objective throughout pretty much most of the series. They're also not too afraid of letting Dragons go if they need to. Yeah. We saw Winterfox getting the first 2 in game 1 with TDK to come back, as we mentioned before. Good pressure from Winterfox, getting some deeper wards in here, knowing they lost Dragon. They're going to want to be able to activate something off of this. Helios getting pretty dangerous. Gets the ult on. There's the exhaust for Seraph, and he will get a kill before he goes down. He's not going to go down. Why did he go back? Oh, the questions will soon be answered, I guess. But Glebe now going to get hit up. The blue buff onto Alex Each. Throws out a Lugi. Oh, he gets the flash. He turned away from the explosion before it exploded. What just happened?
Saw that scene in The Dark Knight.
I guess so.
Wasn't able to keep hitting the detonator, but Alex, he hit the caustic spittle too, so he had the reduced resistances. That would have been a living artillery to finish him off.
I want to know why Seraph went back again.
He didn't actually see that the bomb was coming down just yet. It was the reticle for the cast before the actual shows up. And also,
or he saw the bomb and said, I'm dead, let me just get hit anyways, and I'll deny the Ziggs.
He's going to get hit by Glebe anyway. He does walk forward and get killed by Glebe, so he was dead either way.
Shlablam.
This turn, though, 80 damage.
With the exhaust.
80 Italy, boom.
So he does see it.
It's appeared
Okay, there it appears? Yeah, okay, so yeah, you're right. There's a whole bunch of, you just can't get out of the situation anyway.
It's a little tricky in Spectator. It is. Everything's pretty much the same color. It just flashes once. You're like, oh, it's already... Oh, nope.
Just kidding. Kez.
We've all been there.
He keeps himself safe. Looks like Scuttle's going to go over to Winterfox here. 2-1 to start things off. 1,500 gold lead for Winterfox here as they stand on the edge of being knocked out of the LCS. Or I would say, not getting back into the LCS. Slow moves
Flats
towards the
top
top
here.
side.
But here's Kez. They don't see him.
Oh, the ultimate over the wall. Nicely done. Altex trying to get the damage on the outside, and it does not look like TDK can repair this, actually. They had
Red
the
buff.
engage, but Altex was not in that engagement and was able to do some big damage.
Those flame chompers were huge, and the barrel as well from Helios to pop people through them was absolutely big for them. That gave Altec a kill, gave him red buff, and now they're able to pile through onto this turret. They might get some meaningful damage here, but this is definitely a very oppressive lane, and with Helios playing to it, it's working out for Winterfox.
Helios just over on the edge, making sure nobody else gets into this one.
We talked about the CS advantage that Altec had made for himself, and now Helios is going to play to that lane more and more and more and more. He's actually going to be able to run away with this game on this Jinx that is banding against him every time. Oh!
Woo! A little hyphy there.
Yeah.
That's the old Alex we used to see.
Yeah.
There we go.
Assassin Kog'Maw.
No matter what you're on, you can get the kills. Like we said, these guys getting bloodthirsty, though. We'll kind of see that come out here. Everybody's getting a little weary. Mentality's going. We're going to do some crazy things. Seraph playing it safe.
He's down a level.
He's down a level. He's down a lot of mana here,
Yeah.
especially for getting eaten the last time he was in this lane. Gives a quick spear to the side of Avalon and realizes his sustain just completely nullifies any damage. So it's going to be a little bit harder. He's going to get some help from Kez here towards the bottom lane to make sure there's no more pressure. Avalon doesn't have that, though. So the clear now in the top side. Altec 112 to 95 in his lane. And we have seen that Avalon is starting to clean up that Seraph discrepancy, 98 to 88.
They're ready to wrap around Avalon and start a gank here. Avalon's not afraid of Seraph anymore. There's the silence.
Good pop-up. Could be the ulti coming out. Sejuani ult actually down. Doesn't have it for a few, so they are able to get out of that. Avalon nicely done, playing it calm, cool, and collected. Didn't even flash.
Didn't have to use it.
Nope.
Nope. Alex, though, he's got to watch out. Helios is here.
Oh, there's one, there's the other, and it cannot be finished. Alex blew his flash previously, was able to nicely walk out of that one. Winterfox not able to get an advantage there. Oh! I'm a liar! Great shot by Altec. Beautiful hit.
Smoothie watched it
On
go
the
by.
Megadeth rock.
No! Oh, great shot from Altec, exactly. Altec is definitely off the ground this game.
Look at what it's providing.
When you drop the Sivir ban, or when you drop the Jinx ban for Sivir and you give him Jinx, there was a reason you were banning it, and it was part of the strategy.
Losing Alex on this one, very, very big. This should be a dead Seraph. One more body slam. Actually, nicely puts the wall there in between, so he could kind of force Helios into a body slam over the wall and dodge out. None of that came to be. As tricky as he is, he still goes down.
Winterfox are just taking over this game. TDK are not playing crisply at all. They're getting too aggressive in their lanes, especially Seraph. Seraph was having a hard time overextending last game on Gnar. Now, it's much worse on this Nidalee. He's 1-3. He's more than half his team's deaths at this point in the game.
Yeah. Well, it's almost one of those situations where you can't fall behind, right? Because then you're completely useless. You're the kind of AD carry that just heals everybody. Not doing too much.
You're old school Ezreal.
Yeah, exactly. Which was pretty broken, to say the least. But not doing enough for the team at this point, and now beaten by Avalon and CS. We're going to see Winterfox gathering in the middle now. See teleport up for Avalon. See what they do with Altec being out here. They're still getting pretty aggressive without having their AD carry here.
Seraph's going to go on that. Seraph's going to go on that split push mission. He's 2 levels down on Avalon. Seraph needs CS. He needs to complete his Trinity Force just to even be mildly relevant and to knock down turrets. It's a sad situation to be in, but with this niche pick, there's a reason it's not meta, and it's because it takes a certain execution on it, and it's good in certain matchups. Cho'Gath doesn't seem like one of those matchups, though.
Right, you're not clearing the wave faster than him. You're getting pushed in. When you match up, you're going to get eaten, as we saw. Yeah. Wasn't that
not building
great.
HP, which is the counter to Cho'Gath's true damage.
That's true. You did see that Seraph had the early advantage.
Speaking of counters, though, you just 3-man dive him. That'll work
take
too.
Him down, cut down the stacks, make sure he can't get out of this one alive. A Mega Inferno Bomb may create a little bit of follow-up here. The turret actually goes over to Smoothie after he has gotten out nice and healthy. And the rocket looks like it's just a little behind. Shoo. Yep.
Whew.
It's close, though. That was a good shot.
Very
across
close.
the map.
They 5-man that top lane. They're going to lose this bottom turret for it, and all they got was a kill off of it. So that's actually a net positive for Winterfox.
They should get actually 2 out of this. Oh, I lied. There's another minion wave crashing into him right now, and he doesn't have a ton of damage. So 1 turret here. Getting ahead of myself for Winterfox, but they don't have too much pressure, so they're going to be able to deny a bit, get some forward wards in for themselves.
Yep, it's only 16 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
People come up so quickly, but that TP top lane, they didn't get the turret off of it, so it wasn't 100% worth. It's relatively worth because Seraph catches up a little bit in experience, catches up a little bit in CS. He was up, and then he ends up throwing that lead bit. It's a difficult matchup for the Ninjas.
Yeah.
Very, very hard.
An interesting pick out of Champion
You
Select.
misplay once, and this is what happens. You struggle to get back in the game.
Especially with everything that was still left open for Seraph, it's kind of it's completely a pick that they were just like, you know what, we've done these other things, let's kind of throw them a curveball. And they might have thrown themselves a curveball.
Yeah, the last pick, Nidalee. Look at this, they're going after him again. Get him!
Cut the stacks down!
Oh, is he gonna nom him?
1-1 and 1! Man, he just gets out of that one. Not going to get really any help here from Pobelter. I don't know if he's going to need it. Seraph would get a nice kill on this one if he can, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. He's going to have to go Cougar, out of mana, and they've already become too far away in the situation. They know that Winterfox is coming, and the mistakes are now piling on top of each other for TDK.
Oh, Avalon. Nobody's respecting his damage output.
Nope.
Cho'Gath's true damage, it's only going to do a set amount of damage. You know exactly how much he's going to hit you for.
To TDK's credit, everyone and their mom, right, would focus Avalon, though, thinking it's the weaker lane, but he is showing up this game and really doing it without any help. Yeah, we used to say, when's Helios going to be able to help his brother out a lot? That synergy was there, and now it doesn't need to be. They let go. They don't have to hold hands.
When Avalon is self-sufficient like this, it's big. And when Altec is going to solo kill Luigi G, oh, actually, he's got some help. He's going to get an assist off this.
Whimsy. Oh, it's just going to go to more. So now Avalon gets a piece. Very nice to give it over to Altec. 2 assists going out on that one as well as Pobelter gets pushed off. TDK now finding a bit of what they want. Kez flashes in without being able to permafrost or Arctic Assault there.
Yeah, he was trying to get the W off for the permafrost, but the Pobelter followed him up. TDK, they have a late game team comp. It's super late game. The Alistar's good late. The Graves is okay. Right, he clears waves for you. But the Kog'Maw, you need the level 16. The Sejuani, great late game. Nidalee, it's kind of the weird pick in this bunch. But the way they're playing it, it's definitely not going to work out. And they have to wait even longer.
It's so true. Well, you have that long range with Kog'Maw until 16. You still feel way too close. And Altec, a little too close here, but wow. That should have absolutely been a kill onto Altec. He has flash and heal, gets to keep those up, and TDK come up with nothing once again, empty-handed. The wishes are just falling through first.
TDK not landing a lot of abilities here to get these fights going. We saw the spear miss top as well on the Cho'Gath. Not able to have Seraph leap onto him and have that extra damage on the hunt to actually get the kill, and then Helios paid, or Kez paid for it. Now Kez not able to get the Arctic Assault. Now, is this a blue buff steal? Nope.
Nope. Blue buff assistance.
Yes.
Good bit of help there. Also looking at what Seraph has to do. If he does go for that build, he's going to need like a loan. That's an expensive build to go for, right? You're not getting defensive items, which are obviously still expensive, but it's not a $4,000 item that you're looking for.
Yeah. The Trinity Force and like all these things that Seraph wants to buy for himself are huge. They are a huge chunk of cash, and he needs money to even get it. So
it's gonna be tough.
The blue buff actually was really good there from Pobelter. Just when you're against a Kog'Maw, an AP Cog mid, contesting his blue buff is huge. Being able to take it away from him so he can't operate and continually throw out his living artilleries is big, because that is his primary source of damage in a team fight or when poking.
Seraph's got to be pulling his hair out right now. Or he's just shedding all over the place. I can't tell. That does not look like a very fun lane for him. 45 seconds onto Dragon. Quite a bit of focus here towards the top side of the map. But look, Altec may just be able to solo this one out himself as it happens. And Alex Each, kind of confined to the mid here, knows he has to ghost. Weird positioning here from TDK. Winterfox is being able to get into these positions way too easily.
Yep, the ward coverage falling to the wayside, but also the fact that Avalon is applying so much pressure.
Yep.
Seraph has been taking it to Avalon all series long, bullying him around, and now
you have another factor to worry about. Avalon got big this time.
Oh, ulti!
That is a good ult. I don't know if they can follow it up, Zyrene. Seraph is there. They should be able to take down Glebe with the cancellation here. Seraph gets exhausted. He does finally take it out. Will they be able to find any more? Remember, the Dragon's going to be up here. We had to have Altec run by that to join the team now, but Baron's not exactly going to be on the plate just yet for these guys. Good kill, though, for TDK. They finally picked something up here as they've been looking for these scraps.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is TDK really need to just stay alive and stay within a certain gold gap as Alex approaches level 16 with Luden's Echo. Because when he turns online, Altec will have very little relevance in these fights if he gets poked out beforehand. Pole Belter can get poked out ahead of time. And Avalon, despite being a very tanky Cho'Gath, he's kiteable.
Yeah.
As long as you just stay out of his range, which you can with the Kog'Maw power spike, it's going to be difficult to deal with him. And here we go. Seraph just has the Trinity Force, got himself a kill. He's ready to start split pushing, even though he can't really duel Avalon.
Yeah, I love the build that Avalon's gone with as well. He gets health out of eating people, get health out of your Raj with AP, so I'll recipe together magic and armor. A little bit of cooldown.
Yeah, the interesting thing about itemizing against Nidalee is, especially when it's AD, is her auto attacks are high. She's got high damage, Trinity Force output. It's all physical damage. Her Q in Cougar form is magic damage.
Yep.
So she's doing a lot of magic damage to you. That's based off how much percent HP you're missing. So as he hits you a little bit with physical attacks, he'll get you lower for his magic attacks. So it's a lot of mixed damage from this AD that you wouldn't expect normally.
And also not making him overall too healthy as well. Alex isn't going to cut through him right away. It kind of works out all together. He'll be getting healthy soon enough, though, as Cho'Gath does. Luden's Echo as well finished up on the Pole Belter, so the clearing becomes even more immense for him as he gets that charge set every time. Wards being placed here by Winterfox. Looks like they are ready to put their foot down and get a big change in this game, swinging towards their favor. They've had the lead for a while here, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to kind of push that lead in the face of TDK. They're waiting for TDK to make a mistake.
Yeah, but TDK have been making a lot of mistakes.
Slowly making them for sure. Kills that they cannot come up with, using a lot of resources, which unfortunately aren't allowing them their wave clear game that we usually have been seeing in this past series.
Well, when you feed Altec a couple kills early, and then he gets attention from his jungler Helios, they're in a great spot after Pole Belter's just farmed up, had a good lane. So far, I believe, his best laning phase of this series, and has his Luden's Echo before Alex does.
Yeah, very true. Those two, again, a pretty quiet lane in the mid with not too much jungler intervention, as we see once again. Early game for Seraph is going well for maybe 4 levels, but Avalon has just come out too strong. Not many games where Winterfox is able to get on the back of this guy right
He's
now.
Got the Honey Badger Nidalee skin in Cougar form. He walks up to turrets and he just uses his Trinity Force.
Get him.
Just tries to knock him down. That's exactly what he's going to do all game, by the way. He will just sit there. His TP plays will be few and far between.
So more of a nuisance.
Yes, exactly. He is an absolute nuisance. And the thing is, if Avalon leaves for a team fight, if Cho'Gath has to be present, he TPs out. Seraph sticks around and then pushes turrets instead.
That's a big loss with Helios a little too far away. He's also going to bring Vision back to the team. So that knowledge over to TDK now as Altec working off the ball here, trying again to get those waves pushed up. And these early wards that we saw Winterfox put down are providing a bit of an advantage on the backs of TDK.
Blade Hooter and King for Seraph. Trying to do percent HP to Cho'Gath. This is the only person he's going to fight. This is the only person he hopes to fight this entire game, is just split push, split push. Trying to make Avalon have to show up. And if he pulls Avalon's attention, it also makes it so that the Feast Smite on Baron is not an option. So.
Right. Well, I don't know if that's going to be an option of an option.
Yep. He's got a long way to push.
A very long way to push to pull any pressure off of this Baron. 7-3. The cask a bit early can still allow Kez time to get over the wall. They don't have the vision just yet. Kez is in. The smite goes down way too early from Kez as Winterfox holds off on their initial damage to burst it down. TDK is still looking in the whites of the eyes of Winterfox, and they almost want this fight. There's the Bio-Arcane shot coming in from Alex. He had the range on it there. And the Mega Inferno Bomb cannot get through the hair of the beast. Kez stays alive on Sej.
I've seen this before.
Dear.
I haven't seen that one before.
Tucked his tail in. He's good. Don't worry about it. So, TDK make a big move there. No, he backed into it! How often does that happen? Amazing! What a shot! Altec fires it. It did miss Kez, but Kez backed on the fountain in the initial range of the rocket. You do not get to see that very often. That is, I can't even say 1 in a million because it happens more often than that.
You just watch it go by and you're like, sucker.
Here we go. All right.
Oh my God.
So you're like,
he's
man.
Like, nope.
You stink at this game.
I'm good.
And you're like, all right, let's just go back and get some dinner or something. Wazam!
Oh, he turns into it at the last second. It's beautiful.
What is that in the corner of my eye? The execution, as well as it obviously already being charged up from our traveling through the air for so long. I think Altec was pretty surprised about that one as well, I'm guessing. So he goes to 4-0-0 on the game and takes down Kez.
That was the IQ test right there.
Yeah, right? There you go. Oof. What a big thing. But really to have that as well, an extra kill to come out of nowhere in a game like this, in the game that's kind of putting your life on the line, feels great. It's going to make Altec play a little bit better. Like you're saying, red buff here. The nice rupture dodge by Seraph. That Blade of the Rune King now starting to do a bit of work.
Blade of the Rune King gives him so many auto attacks. He forces Avalon back, which is really big because now he's able to duel him. And the Frozen Heart's completed. Seraph really doesn't care that much. He's going to keep pushing. He's going to keep getting his team turrets to stay in this game as long as they prevent the fights. Alex Siege has the Luden's Echo, so he does have some poke, but it's just the Siege here. You have to kind of stave off the Ziggs, keep him out of there. Smoothie. Smoothie
indeed. It's a very nice ult to start the fight, but nobody really has the engage, thinking that the AoE of the ult down maybe from Ziggs would give them enough pressure, but he just gets stripped of any of his clothes, taken down and left on the side of the road there. Smoothie is very sad about that situation.
Yeah. Alistar pretty much only has a loincloth to begin with, so he's not losing too much.
That's right, you can't take his shoes.
It's just the support.
Oh, the ult just on the edge, but gives it enough slow. Louis GG able to get the collateral damage. A triple kill for him, and that's even better than a rocket flying across the map. It's almost a quadra, but it's cleaned up by Alex Each, and TDK just got a fight that was pretty much a birthday present being open for everybody.
That was huge for them. They're going to be able to just barrel down the middle, get that last tier 2 turret that's standing in front of them. And that was off the back of the positioning of Louis GG, and also the fact that Kez, gorgeous ultimate, but it's only a slow. He didn't even get the full stun on it. It was just the slow, which stopped Altec from going back. They might even get, they're going to get 2 turrets off of that. No inhib.
No inhib.
But they can run towards the dragon and pick it up before anybody gets there that could contest it. This is crazy. They're all on the same page here. Kez throws it out, slows, but it lines up, and Glebe set up Altec there. And the follow-up damage.
A lot of flashes in for those kills. Very close. Kez with enough HP to get through that one. The Mega Inferno used as well, so 2 instant ultimates that Winterfox won't be using for a follow-up fight. And now they're going to be scrambling to hopefully get some of these backs. Seraph! Oh, he gets popped, and he should and get popped overall. The ward goes over. Okay, so Helios actually waiting on the cooldown for Body Slam. They cannot get him. Nice peace of mind for Seraph to just walk out slowly.
That was really big. The triple kill on the shutdown going to Louis GG.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had nothing this game. He was 1 and 2. Oh! You dance one way and you get a pie in the face from Louis GG the other one. There's just nothing you can do right now. If TDK has set up to dodge the skill shots they're throwing at you, it's a living artillery or it's Louis GG's collateral damage. Seraph trying to keep this one going, and he's got to be thanking his team right now because he did not have a great laning phase, but they are coming out strong here in the mid game.
Yeah, you know who else also didn't have a good laning phase? Louis GG. And Alex H, you know what? He's just transferring it over. I can't believe what's going on right now. Louis GG was pretty much dead to rights this game.
Absolutely.
He has a better score than Altec now in terms of kills, just off of that. That's amazing. Where has this Louis GG been all Challenger season long?
It's also what Freak was saying on the desk. This guy's not going to do much as he comes in, but now who is this guy?
Yeah.
How is he ramped up so fast?
This is crazy.
And it's the second time. I wouldn't say it was as bad the first time as this. We saw game 1, TDK kind of messed up their lane swap. Louis GG didn't get a great lane. The beginning of this game, how hard were they pushing Louis GG into that top turret? He had how much CS, right, to Altex, and they still are able to come out on top after all of that pressure.
He's losing the lane a lot, but a lot of that comes down to the fact he can't communicate with Smoothie. Louis and Smoothie speak English and Korean.
Right.
Smoothie doesn't speak a hint of Korean,
nope,
for the most part. He's got the basics down. He's got how he can kind of communicate, but it's a rough lane still in terms of communication.
Yeah.
They're losing lane pretty consistently in 2-on-2s, but then when they show up for the team fights, they're all on the same page on when they want to go in.
That being basic is enough to make it work completely for them.
Yeah,
that's what they stick with.
In the lane phase, you have to communicate things like, okay, I'm going to harass, or I'm going to trade a little bit, shield, right? Things like that. You have to be able to be like, all right, get up here with me 2 steps forward, right?
Right.
A lot of micromanaging in the laning phase. Late game, it just go. All you need is go. You're not going like, all right, I'm going to take 2 steps forward and harass. You're like, no, okay, go or back is really all you need at that point.
Now you look back on the side of Winterfox, a situation where you would kind of hope Pobelter would have a champion to zero somebody out, carry the game. But
he had to take Ziggs.
Well, you almost have to in the end there with what the composition was. But to see, or kind of hoping from my side that that's what they would have right now, knowing that Avalon could eat somebody up, but they're going to get hit up by this Kog'Maw, by this Seraph now, zeroed out by the Graves. It's going to be difficult.
Huge comeback there from TDK. TDK are pretty much the comeback kings when they're behind.
Yeah,
Seraph is able to get his split push on. He got them turret after turret to keep the gold close. So when this team fight came out and Alex Each has hit his level 16 power spike, Luden's Echo, that they're good to go. Seraph was basically their insurance policy for turrets and keeping them in this game, and it worked perfectly for them. Baron is live right now, and he doesn't even have TP, and he's on the bottom side of the map, and he's probably going to stay around the bottom side of the map.
Yep. Keep providing all that pressure. He doesn't have, like you said, no TP, so just hanging out. Already has the BF sword, so he's going to try to do a little bit more damage. Maybe if he can get Avalon very, very low, he'll come to the fight and not even be a problem. Nice Void Ooze slows down the team's entry. That's going to stick. Void Ooze does not wear off. If you're still on it, you're still on it. Helios a little too far forward here. It's a nice ultimate. Louis GG, however, was on the outside, and Alex did not take too much. The AD carries are now stuck hip to hip over on the left. Will they be able to do much? And no, they won't. A great push out there. And a bit, I think, of miscommunication that we have not been seeing from TDK just happened.
Yeah, TDK decided to pull off of the Baron. No TP available either. Yeah. The Baron got down to about 6,000 HP, and then everybody pulled off of it. But look at the Seraph!
Whoa! Look at the Seraph indeed! Dives in, gets the exhaust out, and flashes. So the exhaust is pretty much useless now that Glebe tried to put on. They're going to keep diving into this fight. Avalon tries to back himself up and be the stopper, be that wall so everybody can get out alive! The double kill coming in for Alex Itch! The Kog'Maw pick comes up huge! Now the triple! And they're going to be pushing on to the fountain, onto the Nexus. This is going to be TDK's game! Winterfox wanted these guys, and they may be regretting it.
Pobelter, the relegation king, is about to get kicked out of the LCS, and TDK are going to take their place.
What amazing play coming out of TDK. It does take 4 games, but they take 3 in their favor in the best of 5. They take down Winterfox, and TDK earn themselves a spot in the LCS.
You can see their manager right there. First LCS team. And he's been waiting for this. He's been going after this for years. And the players working so hard for this.
Working very hard to, 1, clean slates, make new ones, back into the community, back into the league, being able to now write a new name for yourself. Seraph definitely looking to do that. Kaz as well has been there before. Now he gets to write a new name for himself. TDK puts themselves in the North American Summer Split.
And Seraph was a big insurance policy in this game. And then the team fighting of Louis GG right behind Kez there was absolutely incredible. The way that they're all on the same page with a substitute mid laner.
Yep.
Alex Each coming up huge for them in this series.
The Kog'Maw pick, not seen throughout the entire series, not even a ban, and it is the thing that kind of turned the table there in that last fight. Very big. Can't take that away as well from Seraph. Kez played well, and Gragas all 3 games out. Louis GG growing as an AD carry throughout the Challenger Series, and it has paid off as he is now an LCS AD carry. We see Smoothie, another support that likes to initiate. Something that I love to see. He is not afraid to get his hands dirty.
They lost to Enemy.
Yeah, 3-1.
The finals. But they brought it back here, and this is a different team. Not just the mid laner, but the way that they played around each other.
Absolutely.
The communication seemed more crisp. The fact that that Baron turned into a positive play for them, even though they lost Smoothie. That was huge. And Seraph, the way he was playing and applying pressure, was just a huge boon for them. And seeing more of that in the LCS and that top lane style, where he's going to open up the map for his team, is something I am definitely looking forward to.
It's going to be great. I like the fact that you kind of see it in Seraph as well. He's like, I am open to do different things. My team allows me to do that. And we saw that the early part of the game looked like Seraph was going to cost them the entire game, right? But watching how they played, very calm, very cool throughout the entire thing. I think they only scrambled a few times, and that's because Winterfox started playing it very well. But to see how TDK could react in games, not from series game to series game, but in that game itself, was pretty impressive.
Yeah, and that just blows my mind. They were down so much. Altec was getting off the ground. Gragas, Helios was there to help him. He had the Jinx that was banned against him over and over again. Alex hit his power spike, and they stayed in the game. They stayed relevant. It was a 6K gold difference up until that point, but Seraph kept it close. It would have been way larger if he was trying to show up to those fights as Nidalee, but his split push, Blade of the Ruined King, Trinity Force worked out again. This is not the first time that he has kept his team in a game with that champion, and you could see they had full confidence in him. They're like, all right, you died in lane, you got omnommed, it's all good, keep playing. And that's probably the happiest I've seen Seraph ever. He looked absolutely happy to be back in the LCS on this team and being able to rewrite history for himself, because now he gets to play his style.
It's a big press relief. I'm sure there's a lot of weight lifted off his shoulders. There are a few replays from the game we definitely want to touch on. This one at 28 minutes, it was the 4-for-1 mid lane fight. Pretty much one that kind of solidified the deal. If you're thinking about what changed the game from here or there, this was one of those. And Altec was backing up, but it was the Kog'Maw pick here to clean everything up.
Yeah, the Kog'Maw pick, but Louis GG also ended up getting his ultimate across multiple people off the back of Kez. So the siege situation against the Baron, it's like, oh, you have to wave clear. But Kog'Maw doesn't give a damn about waves. He just tries to poke you through them. Altec is low because of this. And then he keeps throwing out damage. And you see right there, Altec gets low off of it, and bam, across everybody. And Seraph's like, I want some kills, and he just gets an assist off of it. And then Avalon had already TP'd in, because that looked like TDK weren't the ones who wanted to engage. The TP came in onto the minion underneath the turret as if Winterfox wanted to continue to press their lead and get that turret. That was completely off guard there, that they were going to throw that bola, which they seemed to be a little bit out of range for, but it was enough.
It felt like they got the sense of security as soon as they saw the Mega Inferno Bomb fly over their heads. Well, he can't just kind of toss that up and hook it right back down onto us. Let's try it. And like you said, they caught him off guard. The next replay, the one I was actually talking about in the first, is that mid lane fight, is where we see the Kog'Maw come into play. Very big for these guys, and this is really what sealed the deal for the game.
Leading up to this, though, the fact they were able to get all those tier 2s, Helios gets caught backing by Kez, gets taken out. So it's Smoothie for Kez in the overall. And then Pobelter launches himself away, but Louis GG will go after him while Seraph is tracked down by Altec, but it's still not enough. Altec has to cleanse himself, has to get out of there. And then the follow-up, just launching the living artilleries. And I talked about it. I talked about the Loogies. The way I talked about it before is if he's on point with this, he's going to be able to just clean up so many kills. Look at that. He has full mana by the end of that fight because of the Athenes restoring his mana off of the kills. Alex Siege came up huge in these late game team fights, did the most damage in the game. And that's one of those situations where you're like, just let me scale. Well, I'll win the game for you guys. Don't get too far behind, and we'll scale. But they kind of did hit that road bump, and like I've said it multiple times, Seraph split push kept them in the game so Alex could turn online and take over the game.
Absolutely. We'll see what TDK can do as they turn online in the North American LCS Summer Split now that they've made it. And right now we're going to throw it over to Dash for a first-hand account of TDK's series win.
Thank you, Riv. I'm joined by Kez and Alex each after a 3-1 victory, slightly shorter series than the previous one today. So first of all, congratulations. Kez, I'm coming to you. You're back in the LCS. You've made it. I just want to know how it feels, this journey through the Challenger scene and arriving back to the big stage.
It feels great. It's actually my third time relegation, and it's actually so happy that I can actually win a relegation match.
Now, did this series, there's obviously a lot of planning and preparation that goes into approaching a best-of-5 series. Did this play out the way you expected, or did things catch you off guard this time around?
No, not at all. Like, it didn't play out as we thought. Like, we didn't really do like much thinking before this game. Like, we would just like do like whatever we wanted, and then whatever we felt like, just like impromptu there.
So, with that in mind, Alex, it became very clear in this series that Sivir and Ziggs were going to be pretty contentious picks after the first couple games. As Kez just mentioned, that wasn't necessarily expected coming in. How did you guys kind of sort out what the big priority picks were going to be in this series?
Sorry, I lost my voice a bit, but overall, like, when we approached this series, we didn't know anything about Winterfox. They don't know like much about us, so we're like, okay, let's play first game of best of 5 to see like the power picks and stuff, and then just decide on that. And we saw the fusion games, so we got the idea of like Alistar and stuff. Like first game, I think it just snowballed out of control. And like starting from second game, we started to understand like what are the priority picks and what is like, you could see like them picking Seer, and they're like ranking on us, and like we understood that we can do the same pretty much about Ziggs and everything. So we knew like further in series, we started to know what kind of comps we want, and if they go like for, depending on what comps they are going for, we can counter it. So like, we knew there are 3 possible first picks in the last game. It's Sejuani, Ziggs, or Alistar. And we're like, the best for us was Ziggs. So, and after he picked it, we just knew what to pick after it.
Well, so now I'm going to continue on that line, because after picking Ziggs, you pick up Cog, and in this series you played Corki, Urgot, Ziggs, and Kog'Maw. So 4 champions coming in for you. And having been a sub for this team, I'm going to assume that there wasn't as much practice as one would normally have had wanted, especially between a jungler and a mid laner, right? Where generally there's a fair amount of synergy to be had. When you're pulling out 4 different champions in limited practice time, what was that dynamic like, working with the 2 of you, but with little time and so many champions?
You know, right now the meta is so strange. It's like everyone is picking tank jungler, and it favored us a lot because they can't do much like pressure or anything, and we're just getting a lot of wards around the mid lane, so we can free farm. So if I get counter pick, Kog'Maw is scaling better than Ziggs, so we're just like, he's farming, I'm farming, and I'm getting better. And overall, I like to pick different champ every game. It looks so cool.
Well, this tank meta has developed and is pretty established now. Kez, you've always been known as a hardcore vision jungler.
Yeah.
Probably most notably known for your Elise play. Elise is no longer in the meta, but you've picked up Sejuani and Gragas. How do you feel you've adapted to this tank meta, and do you feel that it does play into your favor?
Yeah, I quite like this meta right now. Like, everyone plays safe right now, so it becomes kind of like farm fest, but it means like the better team that can control the vision better wins the game.
And do you feel that the entire team has the vision capabilities that can compete at the top of the LCS tables? Or is that something that you guys still need to? We
still need to improve a lot, like on everything, like mechanics, like word vision control, like everything.
All right, now Alex, having been a sub for the team throughout the split or the season for this Challenger series, what was it like being asked to come in here for this final week, play in the best of 5 series that's going to decide the fate of this team?
So, you know, easy.
Easy?
It's just like,
and it's just another day.
I don't know, it's just like, I like Smoothie a lot and Kies, like it's fun to play with them, and then like, even though Lewis is like trolling solo queue and everyone hates him, I guess, but he's trying to like improve, and he's a really good guy like out of the game, I guess, out of solo queue. I think it's maybe some kind of like Korean mentality that needs to change overall, but I think that whenever like they adapt more for like American like lifestyle, playstyle, because I think that it comes a lot from like coming to the foreign country where you don't understand anything. It's like really hard to adapt for those players. And when they like adapt to it, it will be much better and much easier for them.
on the topic of Louis GG, he had an interesting item build today on 2 of his AD carries.
Yes.
In the first game on Sivir, the Essence Reaver, to much success, actually. Second game, though, on Lucian, not as much, and then he kind of moved away from that build. Was this something that the team was prepared for, or did he just kind of pull that out because, you know, he felt like it?
Personally, I never liked it. Like, I hate seeing the item on my AD carry. But I don't know the reason why, but since like the last week, he started like buying the item on every AD carry champion he plays. Like, and I don't know. He says it's good.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Well, it seemed like Freak was able to rationalize it on the desk here for the Sivir pick, being that you get cooldown and the same amount of AD as a Bloodthirster, and crit is less important for her when she's going with ricochets and boomerangs. So there was some justification there. The Lucian, maybe not so much. Anyway, you know, finally back to you, Kez, with the future of this team. What are the prospects for this team moving into Summer Split? Where do you guys expect to finish? Where do you want to finish? And what do you expect to do in order to secure that goal?
I wouldn't say I don't want to like aim high at the beginning. Like, I want to go like slow and steady, and then I would like actually aim for like the mid tier. So yeah.
So are you looking, when you say mid tier, is that qualifying for playoffs? Is that 7th so that you just avoid this relegation?
Yeah.
So 7 or higher?
I mean, higher is of course like better.
Well, yes, obviously. I mean, 1 would be fabulous. Yes. All right. Well, I mean, it was another fantastic series, close nonetheless, with a ton of impressive plays on both sides. But the player who broke away from the pack was Seraph. Seraph was a constant threat in team fights, and his Nidalee in Game 4 opened up the map and kept Winterfox off balance, allowing the Kog'Maw to power up there, and to the point that you guys could end up rolling through the team. I want to get your thoughts on Seraph, Kez, as for him too, this was a lot about redemption, getting back into the LCS. What is having him on this team been like, and what's his mentality and motivation here playing to get back into the LCS?
He actually likes to like try a lot of champions like that he likes, like especially the Nidalee pick in the 4th game. Like, it was just like nobody like planned about it. Like, he just like everyone was like, what about Nidalee against Cho'Gath? And he was like, all right, I'll just play Nidalee. And then it just turned out to be okay, I guess.
Now, yeah, it worked very well once he got to that Triforce and the Bork power spike. Alex, playing with somebody like Seraph, who at the moment most top laners are playing strictly tanks. Build a lot of armor, be giant meat shields. He has this AD Nidalee that he throws in there that no other top laner is really willing to pull out right now. So what does that do for the team, having that really unique split-pushing threat that can open up the map the way it does?
Well, it was really good in these circumstances because like all their pick is about grouping, and you like know they are gonna group. They're just like, if they need it, they can get to the point where she just like 1v1s Cho'Gath and gets the turret, and it's just like good for us. So we're like, okay, let's try. Even though like early started not that well for us, but we like slow down, like we can still win, we scale good, so we slowed down the game and it went out well because like we just found the moment when Seraph can like 1v1 and we can team fight because I got my items and Louis got his items. It was a slow game, but it went out well for us.
It worked out very well, showcasing some patience there, which is good to see. Anyway, gentlemen, I want to congratulate you again on the victory there. Congratulations on qualifying for the LCS, the only challenger team to actually make it up there through the promotion tournament. Let's take a look at the teams that will be making up the 2015 North American LCS. Team Dignitas and TDK have successfully won their spot in the upcoming Summer Split, along with newcomer Enemy Esports. They won first place in the Challenger Series and an automatic spot. They will face off against the returning squads like Team Solo Mid, Gravity, and Cloud9. That means that Team Fusion and Winterfox will join Coast and Final 5 in the Challenger Series. But you don't have to wait until Summer Split for any more league action. Starting May 7th, the best teams from around the world will be meeting in Tallahassee, Florida to fight for regional pride. Tickets are still available, so head to lolesports.com and you can learn how to cheer the pros on in person. Now, I'd like to once again congratulate Team Dignitas and TDK on their victories today, and we look forward to seeing them in the Summer Split. Now I have to extend a special thank you to both of our guest analysts, Xpecial and Zion Spartan, for sharing their insights in today's games. That does it for us here. So for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and good night.
We're gearing up for our first best of 5 midway between Team Dignitas and Team Fusion. Nearly everyone is dead. Big Zigzal, 1-for-1. Actually, not the worst fight we've seen yet from Fusion, but now it's getting a whole lot worse. A triple kill. What's going to come out? There's the engage. A 3-man knock. Wow!
Hold me, Core.
And one more game will put them back into the North American LCS. Fusion are 1 game away from joining the North American LCS. He's just zoned to the back line. Oh, man, knockup! And in they go. CoreJJ picks up 1.
You looking at me, Fusion? Check this out. This is the end for you, baby.
A flash over the wall from Louis to get himself to safety and stay with the team. Great positioning here from TDK as Winterfox tries to clean up. TDK take down Winterfox for game 1.
Cross. Ignite Mundo.
I'm a guy.
Cross.
Good. Lucian,
Lucian, don't flash.
Lucian.
Nice. Good.
Lucian.
Nice. Nice.
And game 3 goes to TDK over Winterfox. And he will get a kill before he goes down. He's not going to go down. Why did he go back? Oh, the questions will soon be answered, I guess. Zig. Nice. And alive. The double kill coming in for Alex Inch. The Cogma pick comes up huge. They take down Winterfox, and TDK earn themselves a spot in the LCS.